talking about if you know that one of their parents is indeed Caucasian or something other and they reside in their own community or whatever it may be, why are you still going out of your way to say that that child is black? Welcome back to our dollhouse. I'm Miss. I'm a wife, a mother, a proud member, part of the IR community faction known as BWWM. All other factions are welcome. However, for this dollhouse, it's specifically for us. House meeting topic is now in session. Why is it that the BOK community love to say that our beautiful biracial children are indeed black? Why is that? See, they'll make this talking point as well, they consider black when the police pulled them over. My dear, why in the first mindset, your mindset, that you automatically think that our kids are going to be doing something illegal, like an illegal turn or illegal stop, something illegal to have a policeman to pull them over? I mean, they tell on themselves. Like seriously, they tell on themselves when they say things like that. And another thing that I want to add as well is, my dear, there's a million and one videos out there. Okay, our dollhouse seen them where people do swirling gone wrong. That is their own weird, creepy predator behavior to manifest our downfall. Swirling gone wrong to them is literally praying that our biracial children get harmed, praying that we in the IR community, faction BWWM, get harmed, and praying that anyone close to us does not only the harming, but their male preference in their community, not our community, but in their community, also the one that is afflicting the harming behavior towards us. But I digress, my dear, I digress. Now, that being said, does that sound like a talking point that where they really care about what happened to our biracial children when they get quote unquote pulled over? No, they don't care. They just use that as a BS talking point because, like I said, it is their own twisted predator behavior where they're trying to manifest in the energy, in the universe, constantly. They want to see that happen. They rejoice in that. Why? Because they rather know that our biracial children and us and our Caucasian husbands, our WPs, gain some sort of harm by being connected to us in some way. Does that sound like a healthy, on the spiritual, righteous path group of people? Or does that sound like one that do need spiritual healing? Like I said, I do spiritual readings on here as well, especially around like Fridays when we do our PSR. But what I also notice is that not only do they need spiritual healing, they also need to question their mentality to see if everything's okay mentally. Because one would say, hey, a child who's biracial is black. Then, if a child who's biracial is black, why is it that scientists say that a child that is biracial is more healthier? Why not say a child that is black is more healthier? So even scientists backs up that our biracial children is indeed different than their fully black children. But yet they still want to latch on to our children. Why is that? Can anyone really answer that question? I'll tell you. The reason why they want to constantly latch on to our children is like I've been always saying this. They want a piece of our WP. They want our Caucasian husband have absolutely no racial regulation, and they know that. Okay? They know that our Caucasian husbands, our WPs, have no racial regulation. I have never heard a Caucasian man say, is there a lot of Caucasian people that lives there where I can travel? No. A Caucasian man would travel alone to Japan or to Paris or anywhere else, even not even in a different country. They would travel in a different state. They have no racial regulation. That being said, people a part of the BLK community know that if our Caucasian husbands don't have any racial regulation, a little bit of that privilege, because he's the only group of male that have enough privilege to pass down to his women and children. Notice I said his women, the woman he chooses to be his wife, chooses to bear his children. Okay? Understand that, my dear. And because of that, you know that he had no racial regulation where he will be able to live freely without an ism holding him back. And you know that. And you tell on yourself when you always say that our biracial children is going to be considered black when the cops is pulling them over as if some of our kids don't have chauffeurs, my dear. As if some of our kids are going to public school, like a lot of your guys' kids are in public school, my dear. And FYI, my daughter do not do public school. She is a private homeschool kid. And when she reaches a certain age, she will be doing boarding school, my dear. So it is different for those of us who align ourselves in the IR community. But you know what? I digress. Because like I said, their their mentality is swirling gone wrong. And when swirling gone wrong is not just between us over here in the IR community, faction BWWM, it is also our biracial children. Because mind you, Richard and Mildred Levin, who was forced in the BLK community, they were forced to be in that community, right? And their beautiful biracial children was ran over. Did you guys care at that time? Hmm? No, they didn't. They did not care. The BLK community did not care that their um the desirable children that they want to make mentally claim themselves as black, they didn't care that those children were being ran over and taunted in that community. And they still don't. Because in their mindset, they want to put them through trauma. See, they'll say that our beautiful biracial children is blackity black black until they sing not like us, not like us, and then they drake them out of blackness. See, they want to have the privilege of doing that. And I can really go into deepness here and talk about how the albinos are treated in other parts of the country, a very black country, but I don't want to make this house meeting too long. I just want to basically understand why do the BLK community insist on saying that our beautiful biracial children are indeed black. And I'm not saying, oh, claim the ones that are not the 3D biracial, 3D biracial blonde hair or sandy blonde hair, like my daughter, or like color eyes or whatever it may be. I'm talking about if you know that one of their parents is indeed Caucasian or something other and they reside in their own community or whatever it may be, why are you still going out of your way to say that that child is black? They have to ask themselves this because this is spiritual healing that they need. I can't stress this enough. This is spiritual healing that they need. This is a spiritual healing moment. You want them to claim blackness because you want to latch on, you heard me, latch on to their phenotype because you like that their phenotype look closer to that Caucasian male and you want to have some of his privilege passed down to you in some kind of way. They would even make it as so if you take any of the Caucasian man's privilege and not share it with them and dim your own light, you heard me. Share it with them and dim your own light. Yikes. So I'm going to say that one more time. Share it with them and dim your very own light. Then you somehow is perpetuating colorism, featureism, and texturism. And why is colorism, featureism, and texturism being brought up when a person is telling you that they indeed are biracial? You don't even want them to stand truthful in the privilege that they do have, which is being biracial. I literally watched a video of a BLK male telling a Caucasian man that who said you're white. You're just in the spirit of a body. You got the spirit of a body. And I'm like, what? And then this BLK woman was doing like this, like nodding, like, yes, that's true, Kane, that's true. And I'm like, are you serious? So they're going out their way to make sure that even Caucasian men feel like they can have a sense of blackness to them. It's just getting really weird at this point. And I do feel like there's some spiritual healing that is needed. And this is why I always say you have the BLK community, we have the IR community. We can be allies in our very own way without tearing each other down, my dear. But this whole trying to attach yourself to our children or even to us once we tell you that my swirler pretty princess personality is a personality that I'm not going to change to dim my light because you can't latch on to the access that I have, the privilege that I have. And yes, anyone who's saying, like, oh, so you're saying being with a Caucasian man is a privilege. Do you not know the legacy of Richard and Mildred Lovins? Some of you, I need you to, like, just read a book and really educate yourself on these landmarks. Okay? But other than that, I digress. To wrap this all up, I'm gonna need people to just seek spiritual healing and stop claiming our beautiful biracial children as your own because they didn't come from you. Our biracial children is not your phenotype. You create your own phenotype with your male preferences, and we're creating our phenotype with our male preferences. We're carrying his seed through our womb. You are carrying your male preference seed through your womb, and that is quite fine, my dear. You're part of the BLK community, and we are part of the IR community. We can be allies in many ways without cutting down our community. All this swirling gone wrong, we don't go out our way to say that everything that you do is wrong. You know how you use terms like baddie, she a baddie. So are you saying that she's a bad woman, my dear? Or how you feel like you have a dibs on using the soft ER? Yes, the soft ER. Now we're going to take this back to grammar for just a second. So, in grammar, when you're teaching kids, you know, basic little kindergarten stuff like the hard C, the soft C, the hard G, the soft G, you know, make the k or the s. You get it? So the soft ER is making that at the end, right? In your BLK community, the hard ER makes the hard and the soft ER makes the G or the right? So we're educating ourselves over here in the IR community to understand that the hard ER is the hard ER and the soft ER makes that sound. Okay? We're trying to educate ourselves over here to understand your mentality. How you like to say baddie, but you really mean that it's good? Okay. Or calling somebody a bad bee, a female dog? Oh, okay. I guess that means good. Okay. We have to educate ourselves to understand your lingo. Now, please educate yourself to understand our lingo and how we value marriage and how we value raising our children and how we're teaching our kids to love who they are. It's not self hate, my dear. It's self love for our children to love and stand with the legacy of Richard and Mildred Levins. Now, that's the end of our house meeting. Feel free to drop your comments down below in our dollhouse mailbox. If you have another house meeting topic that you would like us to go over, or you enjoy this house meeting topic and you want to add to it by just leaving a comment, feel free to do just that by dropping your comments down below in our dollhouse mailbox. Before we close this house meeting, may we all please stand to recite our daily affirmation. We are worthy sisterhood of Mu Sigma Zeta. We stand proudly in the IR community. We receive abundance daily. We are irresistibly desirable always. We love outwards and receive love inwards. We do not decenter from men. However, strategize to get ring on finger from them. We receive all universe blessings. Our swirler pretty privilege. Open all possible doors. So it be. Say I. Sling, 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 sling. And remember, they're pretty too, but we're swirler pretty. Like and subscribe. Later, Slayers.